So we're back again for another FIFA, back again with the unrealistic expectations. I haven't got top 100 since FIFA 17. What's up, chaps and chappets? Welcome back to the Road to Glory, man. We're really doing the most. We've got like this new setup looking kind of clean. So we start for Road to Glory in a really good fashion, making a very intelligent decision, deciding, despite all the hours that I've put into the game, to invest the player loan card or whatever as a right back instead of a striker. Which is pretty shocking, to be quite honest with you. I mean, you'd expect better from your boy, but to be fair, I have not really played that much FIFA, like FIFA 19, I'm not going to lie. I really did fall off a map. I actually played a bit of Fortnite. You know, there might be a lot of you kind of looking at me now like, what's he done? He kind of fell into the Shadow Realm, and to be fair, I say it now like I really was sweating Fortnite at a time, but, you know, we're back into FIFA now and we're really looking to do the most. So, FIFA 20, this is how it all begins. We've got the 4-4-2. Well, I'm not going to show like a super in-depth kind of custom tactics and instructions and everything like that, because at the end of the day, this is kind of experimentation with all of the different types of tactics, seeing what could work well in the game. And at the moment, I'm trying to find out, just by using a load of different tactics, what works well for me. But to be honest with you, mate, I'm not going to lie, I need to do some revision. Like, I need to look at the Guardiola book again. I've not looked in time. Like, I genuinely do need to look at the strats again and find out how to implement it in the game. But I think we go, yeah, so this is a division rivals game. Obviously, we're 3-0 up. We are kind of running away with it, to be quite honest with you. I mean, we're sending him. And then all of a sudden, you know, one red card later, and it's 3-2. He's back in the game with a shout. Luckily, the referee blowing the whistle and puts a stop to it, because it was getting a bit ugly out there, almost like a boxing match. Perhaps KSI versus Logan Paul, that match could actually be a bit ugly if they're not, you know, protecting themselves. But we're looking to protect ourselves with Boruk, a decent keeper, maybe. I don't know, time will tell. Oh, let's be honest, he's going to be out of the door. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to try and pretend like he's out. I've got big plans for Boruk at the club, because I really haven't. He's going to be gone in a split second, just like that. But yeah, we're going into another division rivals game. We're playing with a shocking team, and I'm surprised because this is EA access, man. And some of the teams that we're coming up against here, you would have thought, you know, they're well-established clubs. They've been in the scene for quite a time, but really, we're all in the same boat, or supposed to be. Some boats have obviously a huge supply of FIFA points, and yeah, we're not rocking with that. We're definitely not rocking with that this year on the Road to Glory. My goodness, I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember the last time I had to speak this much, and like, maybe I need to slow down my speech as well. I think it would be good practice, like these Road to Glory episodes. It's almost like a podcast in a way, but I'm thinking of kind of switching up my style and stuff like that. But this episode is a bit different to how most episodes are going to be running. The only reason I'm kind of showing, or basically this is a 20-minute video, you know, I'm actually showing basically the last week's worth of FIFA, because I forgot to actually kind of record as I was going along, and actually decided, let's just play a load of a game, and then good luck to the future Mbirchy having to kind of edit all of this together, because it was a hell of a task, I'm not going to lie. City Strikers is the name of our club, and you might be thinking, oh, is he a Man City supporter or something like that? No. I'm not. As much as I do like Guardiola, I am an Arsenal fan, which is kind of unfortunate because we're shocking. But City Strikers is actually a Lego team. I mean, it may sound pretty B-Tech, mate, but if you ever played Lego Football Mania back in the day, one of the clubs, I think it's the first club that you actually play against, is called City Strikers. And it's just a banging club, man. All right, that's all I'm saying. So we had to, of course, pay homage to that by making the team. So we're signing up some half-decent players here and there. Cabaselli at centre-back. We get a left-back. Basically, what I realised quite early on, and often is the case on FIFA Ultimate Team, is that these Premier League players, especially the left-back and right-backs and all of those, are just too expensive. I'm trying to get pacey players. At the end of the day, you know, that is the meta. I want to get some pacey players. And basically, there isn't many pacey players going for a good price in the Premier League, so we have to delve elsewhere. And I think one thing which a lot of lower-end kind of FIFA Ultimate Team players is, you know, I'm really calling you out here. I'm really sending you to the Shadow Realm. One thing that, like I say, the lower-end Ultimate Team players get wrong is they don't understand that, like, you can just sub on players. You know, that is an option type thing. And you'll see during this kind of Foot Champs Road to Glory that I will be exploiting the absolute most kind of meta ways to build a team. And that often does involve getting pacey players from other leagues and just subbing them in, as I'm doing here. Because, you know, there isn't any, if you look at a Premier League, there isn't any good players that are for like a cheap price in a striker position or in a winger position. So delving into other leagues, like I say, is decent. So we're actually getting squad battles just grinding away. I'm not actually showing the whole games because it's playing against the AI, you know, and this is the kind of games we're talking about. In fact, this one was, I think I needed to rest my team. What we decided to do was basically get a bronze team, go into a game, I think, on the lowest difficulty, and you could just sit there with a ball. They just let you kind of sit there with the ball, doing absolutely nothing with it. So I basically, I don't know, playing my Nintendo Switch, play a bit of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, which is a pretty B-Tech game, to say the least. But yeah, we're playing on, we're getting all of these. I have to admit, I do like some of these objectives. You know, it really gives you that bit of kind of a sense of accomplishment. I was almost going to say the sense of pride and accomplishment. It's like the most disliked Reddit post about Battlefront when EA tried to defend it back in the day. That was kind of a vibe. But nonetheless, you know, we're getting the players in. We're getting Pellegrini in a manager's seat. I have to say he's not the best, but we had to get him for a price. You know, we've only got so many coins, and Pellegrini apparently was the man for the job. So we're getting this little bit of objectives going everywhere pretty much. And the nice one that we like to see is the coin boost. You know, coin boost is pretty sexy. I don't think, as far as I'm aware, I don't think they have a catalogue right now in the game. So there's kind of a different system where obviously you go through all of these different objectives to get some of the things. And I think you can get a really good Zaha card at the end of it. So this basically is the plans coming together, almost like the Death Star plans at the end of episode 3. We're kind of forging the plans for the future of the club. The near future of the club is basically a Serie A team that we're looking to build. Muriel is such a meta player, and I hate to call out people here, but apparently I've heard that Bateson said that Maguire was like a meta cheap centre-back. Are you off your nut, mate? You know, if you want to know what a meta player is, come to me. It's that simple, because I actually know what I'm talking about. Nah, Bateson is a top chap, I'm not going to lie. I don't want to call him out. Clear drastic difference between a meta player and a B-Tech player. Like I said, I mean, I've said B-Tech quite a lot, but if there is ever a player definition that goes along with B-Tech, it is Harry Maguire. You know, he's like 50 pace, mate. You know, he's slow. That's the thing. With the game at the moment, who knows, maybe 2 months' time, people are going to be looking back at this video and they're like, what's he on about? Because, I don't know, like, the game might well change. I kind of hope it doesn't, because it's in a good state right now. But pace is massive right now. You know, I would go for pace every step of the way, through striker all the way to the defence, basically. I'm looking for defenders that are like 85 pace or something, and they do a madness. I'm not going to lie. So, squad battles, I have to admit, the most boring game mode on the game. I just don't like squad battles at all. You're playing against mindless AI that just want to cross it in. They just have a crossing addiction. I don't know what is wrong with them, but that seems to be the only way that they can play. And it's really annoying as well, because another kind of tendency of their game is they just kind of pass the ball, and they don't, it's kind of purposeless, and they're not good on the counter. It's just very slow, very boring games that you kind of just have to put up with. You have to go, yeah, you know what, have a bit of a ball. It's almost like playing against Man City at times. You know, you just have to let them do what they want with the ball instead of playing out aggressive play. But we get Alexis Sanchez, who I thought was worth some money. Apparently, I was completely wrong. I'm completely out of touch with a transfer market, which seems to be the case over a lot of these Road to Glory episodes, especially during the start. I'm like, all right, is this player going to be worth bank? Is he going to transform the club? And here's another one. Have a look at this, mate. Diego Costa. So I genuinely thought this guy was going to be worth something. Have a look at this. Like this, honestly, this pissed me off a little bit. I'm not going to lie. It went from, I think at first it showed like 20k or something like that, like a ridiculous price. And then it just went from 100 to 0. 3k the lad is selling for. Nobody wants him. And to be fair, his stats are pretty average at best. Because, I don't know, he's got a bit of strength. He's a bit of a target man, you know, he's got that going for him. But that isn't really where the meta is taking us. Here's the thing, like, my friends kind of get pissed off at me for talking about the meta so much and really just going for these meta players. But you know, they're spending the odd occasional bit of money on FIFA points. They can afford to buy these kind of more vibey... I basically put players into different categories. You've got, like, vibey players, like Pookie or whatever. Giroud up top, just whipping it in, hoping for the best. And then you've got the meta kind of players, and that's exactly what we've built here. And the reason why I have to go for meta is because I want to get good placement in FUT champs, and I don't have much coins. You know, we're not raking it in. We're not spending any money on FIFA points. I literally cannot afford to waste any money. So any tactics that you see, I wouldn't really bother putting too much thought into because I am, like I say, just trying out loads of different stuff. I think at this point I was trying out a 4-5-1 as well as a 4-3-2-1. And yeah, I mean, I didn't really find any of these tactics super kind of OP meta or anything like that based off my experience. But to be fair, I'm not even good at the game at the moment. I'm not really that good at the game. Yeah, the keepers, I think they've actually addressed this in the recent patch, but the keepers, they just seem to want to give it to whoever's nearby as soon as they save it. It's a little bit strange, I'm not going to lie, but this is disgusting. The team that we've come up against here, 4-2-3-1, and he's got this team in EA access, man. Like, this guy is really whipping out the money, and we're starting off with a very kind of intense... I think we are playing the 4-5-1 kind of Guardiola strat, and we're starting off just pressing him high up the pitch. And all of a sudden, he kind of just falls apart here. Alexis Sanchez making the interception. 2-0. We've stunned him within 16 minutes. And he's thinking, what on earth is going on here? But then he starts to kind of come into his own a little bit, getting the ball spread out wide. Now, to be fair, that's actually a sick bit of play. He's kind of dragged out my defender there, passed it down, created the space, and then got the goal to make it 2-1. And to be fair, yeah, this guy was actually a decent player. But another thing that I'm struggling with, I've not heard a load of people speak about it, but the game feels quite delayed at the moment. I only really recently realised this after playing. I mean, obviously it makes sense. I basically went from squad battles, playing single player, to playing online, and then I was like, oh my days. Like, because I was starting to get a bit of Guardiola kind of passing going. And then I tried it in an online game, and players just weren't kind of passing it in time. And yeah, I basically fall apart. At 4-2, I conceded 2 penalties all of a sudden, which was pretty shocking to say the least. But I'm just hoping, because there's usually kind of a big shock when FUT Champs comes about, and FUT Champs is way more delayed than the standard online gameplay. I'm hoping, surely it can't get any worse than this type thing. I'm just hoping there isn't going to be a massive shock in FUT Champs. At least, I mean, I hate to say it, but if there is a delayed game and that's kind of the level, at least there isn't going to be kind of a massive disappointment when it does get to FUT Champs, like I say, and it's like gameplay that we're not used to. We're kind of getting used to a middle tier kind of delay. It's weird. But yeah, nonetheless, we're just looking to grind up here, playing division rivals. We've got the placement points. We end up in Division 5, which isn't too bad. The unbeaten record goes down the pan. I was saying, like, yo, I'm going to get 100 and everything like that, but let's face it, as soon as FUT Champs comes about, that's going down the pan anyway. So we've got the player pick, the 1-2-watch player. We basically just go for send Maximum, I think his name is, just because he's rapid, and it's that simple, you know. He's got the pace. If we're getting a hold of any of those players, it would be kind of clean to get a hold of the lad who's like 91 pace. Alexis Sanchez, starting off nicely in this Div Rivals game, just putting it top bin. I don't know whether I've properly kind of explained how the team works, but we've basically got Promes, who is one of the most overpowered players on the game, for a cheap price, I should add. And I think that's all we've got at the moment. I think Promes and maybe Gradle, I think Gradle off a bench. So we basically just bring on these lads. And Promes especially, I think he's 5-star skill, 4-star weak foot, super pace. He's got all the stats. He really is doing the most. You know, he really is doing the most. So yeah, an incredible player. So we open a 2-player pack here, and we get Pjanic, mate. How sick is that? Like, the thing is, as much as I hate to say it, this is when we go back into those categories, though. He isn't meta, man. He isn't quite there, because in the midfield, especially in the way that I like to play, you know, often the meta formations do involve CDMs that are kind of more box to box, and he doesn't have the attributes pace or strength wise. The thing is someone like Milinkovic-Savic, who is similar pace, works well because he's got great defending, he's still got great shooting, decent passing, but he's also got, you know, like, really good strength. And he's just kind of that box-to-box lad that works well, whereas Pjanic just doesn't quite have those physical attributes to be that meta status. He's not quite there type thing, unfortunately, mate. we're starting to get the LBA passes going. We really are starting to get them going, kind of just playing in behind balls and all of that. Beautiful bit of Guardiola football right there. And then we get destroyed. Absolutely done. 4-2. I mean, I just didn't really feel that confident at this point of the game. In fact, I still don't feel confident now. It's Tuesday. Like, I really need to get on my grinds to get really good at the game. Now, here's the thing. We're faced with division rivals rewards. We do get rank 1 just from grinding the game. I'm not getting anything other than coins. It's that simple. And it goes back to why am I building the meta team. It's quite simple. Like, all of this together, I can't afford to take that much risk. Like, I want to try and be as effective as I can with the coins that I've got to try and build the best team possible for that price. You know, we're really on that budget. It's that simple. Like, you know, we're not putting money on FIFA points. I feel like 90% of people do. Now, as well, the reason I've shown Varane here, I'm not going to buy him. I don't have enough coins, but I actually think he's the best centre-back in the game, bar icons, like other than icons. He's the best centre-back. He's just rapid. You can get him to like 95 sprint speed. But nonetheless, we're looking to make some improvements. We got a big amount of coins from division rivals. And we really needed that. That's like 70k we're up to now. So we get Bastos. We get a shadow on the other centre-back, Murillo. We're basically just making them absolutely rapid. Now, they're not like physically amazing, but they've got enough pace to stop a lot of these counter-attacks. And that's the thing, is that, like I say, pace is massive right now. And getting fast centre-backs is going to work relatively well, despite not being that tall at all. But at all, I kind of rate that. That's kind of clean. But yeah, no, we get Stat Victor as well. Crazy meta player. Once again, we used him in the Trial to Road to Glory in FIFA 19. We've got Bold ADL, a really OP player who we're going to put on the bench. So we've got Promes, Bold ADL, Pjanic, who could possibly come on and do the most. I'm out here doing the most. Sitting real cozy, you know me, it shows me. I'm on the show playing the host. I got the energy, no one ahead of me. Put ham and cheese in a toast. We really doing the most. Achieving my goals, man. You lot are hitting the post. Yeah, I bet it's peak gonna bounce. Go up and down, just like my subscriber count.